In this lecture, we'll see the applications of simple harmonic oscillator model of vibrational spectroscopy, what chemical properties we can determine, and then we'll move on to the questions which have come in NET, GET, TIFR and IIT JAM from this part. So what chemical properties can be determined using simple harmonic oscillator model? So the first one is to find vibrational frequency. The vibration frequency of any vibration of any molecule can be determined using the formula mu is equals to 1 by 2 pi under root k by mu. This is reduced mass. This is force constant. Okay, this is the frequency. And using the same formula, you can find the force constant of any chemical bond. So from here, K will be 4 pi square mu square nu. Okay. Thirdly, you can find isotopic substitution. Suppose you replace HCl by DCl and you want to find what is the mass of this isotope or what effect it will have. So from here we can see that mu is inversely proportional to reduced mass. So can we say mu by mu iso is equals to under root nu iso by nu. This is for the isotope and this is for the non-isotope compound. And lastly, we can find amplitude of vibration. How much it is getting displaced from its equilibrium position. And that can be done using half kx square is equals to v plus half h nu, where x is amplitude. So from here, what you will get is under root 2 v plus half h nu by k. So using this, you can find the amplitude. Okay. So now let's start with the questions that we have. First question we have is from June 2011. The question says the IR spectrum of cobalt CO Cn whole 5 H 3 minus for CO cobalt H bond is 1840. What will be this for the corresponding COD in CO Cn whole 5 D 3 minus? So for this you can simply use either this formula or this. It's better to use this one. So you would get 1840 by mu iso is equals to mu COD by mu COH. Now mu COD is equals to root 2 times mu COH, and because mass of CO into mass of H, or say mass of D, mass of CO plus mass of D. Now this will be 2 into mass of CO by 2 plus mass of CO. Because cobalt is really bulky and heavy, so mass of 1 plus 2 added to mass of CO or 1 added to mass of cobalt is more or less the same. So I can consider this to be 1, then this becomes mu COH. So here you can do is 1840 by root 2 is equals to mu iso, and this should come to be 1300 centimeter inverse. Okay, so the next question we have is from June 2015. And the question says, intense band generally observed for a carbonyl stretch in the IR spectrum is due to force constant of cobalt being large, force constant of cobalt being small. There is no change in the dipole moment for CO bond stretch, or the dipole moment change due to CO bond stretch is large. Now, if you remember, the intensity is directly proportional to the transition moment integral, and transition moment integral is directly proportional to dipole moment. Let's say I'm representing it with this. So dipole moment. So larger the dipole moment, larger will be the integral, transition integral, and larger will be the intensity. So the correct answer is option number D. Okay. So the next question we have is from December 2015. If the reduced mass of a diatomic molecule is doubled without changing its force constant, so K is equals to K dashed plus mu 2 mu is equals to mu dashed. Okay, so the vibrational frequency of the molecule will be, now it's just the same case like this. So it gets divided by 1 by root 2 times, or it becomes 1 by root 2 times of what was initially present. So that will be option number B. Okay, the next question we have is from December 2016. The rotational constant and the fundamental vibrational frequency of HBr. Rotational constant is 10 and vibrational frequency is 2000 centimeter inverse. Now, this part, for the first part, we had done when we were discussing the rotational spectroscopy. For the second part, we'll do now. So all they're saying is what will be the corresponding value for dBr. This is for HBr. What will be the value for dBr? Okay. So for dBr, you are simply having a deuterium in place of hydrogen. So this would become mu dBr is equals to by under root 2 using this one. So that would be, if I'm not wrong, 1410. And for this, it is 5, which is given in your option number D. Okay. So the next question we have is from June 2018. And the question says, assuming harmonic approximation, the energy change for the reaction okay. So this deuterium gets, D2 bond gets broken, replaces this hydrogen, and this hydrogen bonds with D. So what you have to find? You have to find the energy change. Now delta E is what? Change in the product minus reactant. Now that would be half. Now this is what? All the energies are in terms of half h nu, or since it's given in centimeter inverse, these are vibrational frequency data. So they are given in terms of h nu. So you would need to do half energy of Hd plus energy of DCl minus energy of HCl minus energy of D2. So if that is true, you would get half. Okay, so Hd is 3627, DCl is 1990 minus 2885 minus 2990, and this would come to be minus 129, which is given in your option number C. Okay, what more questions do we have? We have one more question from June 2019. And the question says, the correct statement about HCl and DCl is, DCl has smaller 0 point energy than HCl. HCl has smaller vibrational frequency than DCl. Now 0 point energy is what? Half h nu, and nu is inversely proportional to reduced mass. So if so DCl has larger reduced mass, hence frequency will be less and 0 point energy will be smaller, which is true. So the correct answer is option number 1. But let's take a look at other options. HCl has smaller vibrational frequency. HCl will have a larger vibrational frequency because it has smaller reduced mass. Force constant of HCl bond is half that of KCl. Now force constant does not depend on mass, so that statement is gone. Reduced mass of DCl is smaller than HCl. reduced mass is greater. So that option is also wrong. So the correct option is option number 1. The next question we have is from December 2019. Frequency of the OH stretch occurs at 3600. For OH, it occurs at 3600. The OD stretch would be closest to. For OD, you just need to divide this by root 2, right? And that would give you option number B, 2600. Okay. So I think that's all the questions we have from NET. Now we'll move on to the questions from GATE, AIFR and IIT JAM. Okay, so the first question we have from GATE is from GATE 2004. And the question says, neglecting the mass of hydrogen and deuterium with respect to that of iodine, the ratio between the fundamental vibration frequency of Hi and Di. So that means frequency of Hi by frequency of Di. Now we know this will be mu Di by mu Hi. Now when they're saying you have to neglect the mass of hydrogen and deuterium with respect to iodine, so that means for the, in this case, they are saying let's consider iodine is your M1 and H or D is your M2, so neglect this in this case, but it will still be present here. So that means that would be simply or root 2 by 1, so which is given in your option number D. Okay, so the next question we have is from GATE 2006. The question says, the 0-point energy of the vibration of 3Cl35Cl2 mimicking a harmonic oscillator with force constant K is equals to 2293.8 Newton meter inverse. We have to find the vibration 0-point energy. Now the 0-point energy is what? Half h nu, and nu is what? 1 by 2 pi under root k by mu. The value is given in joules, so we'll be using this formula. So that would mean half into h into 1 by 2 pi under root 2293.8, and the reduced mass for this will be 35 into 35 by 2 into 35, 17.5. So when you solve this, you should be getting an answer of 14.8 into 10 power minus 21 joules, which is your option number B. Okay. The next question we have is from GATE 2011. The question says, the frequency of radiation required to vibrationally excite the molecule from 0 to 1. Now we know delta E is always h nu. Doesn't matter which is a lower energy level. So for this case, you have to find h nu. And what they have given? They have given you reduced mass, they have given you bond length, and they have given you force constant. That means you have to first find using this and then put it in this formula. It's the same process. They have also, okay, so everything is given, reduced mass is given, force constant is given. Okay, so the answer for this should be 1061.6, which is given in your option number C. Okay. The next question we have is from GATE 2013. The question says, the infrared spectrum of HCl gas shows an absorption centered at 2885. So you have an absorption at 2885 centimeter inverse for HCl. The 0-point energy of HCl molecule under harmonic oscillator approximation. Okay, so that means you would need half h nu. Now this is in mu bar. That means in wave numbers. To convert this to joules, what you need to do is you need to multiply it with hc. So simply this would be hc mu bar. You have to put the value of h, c and this value, and you will get the answer to be option number B, 2.8665 into 10 power minus 20 joules. You can simply just add the value of h as 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. You have into 3 into 10 power 10 because it is given in centimeter per second into 2885 centimeter inverse and a half. So this centimeter get cancelled, this second get cancelled, left with joules. Okay, so the next question we have is from GATE 2017, and the question says the lowest energy level of a quantum mechanical one-dimensional simple harmonic oscillator is 300. So that means half h nu is given to be 300 centimeter inverse, or better say half h nu. Okay, let's say I'm considering to be something like this. This is in centimeter inverse, so this would be half mu r. Okay, and they've asked you for the next higher level. Now next higher level is 3 by 2 mu bar, so that means 3 into 300, that is 900, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so that's all the questions from GATE. Now we'll take a look at the questions from TIFR. So the first question we have is from 2010. The stretching frequency of the OH is about 3600 centimeter inverse. The stretching frequency of OD and SH is 2500. What can you conclude from these data? The electronic structure of OD and OH are same and SH is different. We cannot conclude that from this data. The force constant of the OD and OH is same. The SH is weaker than OH and OD. Which bond is weaker? You cannot conclude from here. All of the above. Okay. Now the force constant does not depend on whether it is OH or OD. It does not depend on the mass. The force constant is a property of the bond. That means OH and OD will have the same force constant. So that means option number B is the correct answer. Okay, the next question is from TIFR 2013. And the question says, consider a simple harmonic oscillator with a mass m, a force constant k, oscillating with frequency V. Which of the following statement is not true for the system? V increases is if mass decreases, and we know frequency is inversely proportional to reduced mass. So yes, if mass will increase, frequency will decrease. Correct option. That means the statement is true. The oscillator is most likely to be found at its equilibrium position. Now suppose it is vibrating in this direction from here to here. So it will come twice in a complete rotation at this point, at this equilibrium position. But it will be staying here for the least amount of time because at this point the acceleration is maximum. So if the acceleration is maximum, it will stay here for the least amount of time. The acceleration is maximum at its turning points. At this point of time, the acceleration goes from plus A to minus A. Exactly at this point, the acceleration is 0. V does not depend on how large the amplitude of the oscillation is. We know half kx square is equals to V plus half h nu. So it depends on the acceleration, depends on the amplitude. Yes, acceleration is maximum, that's right. The velocity here is 0. Acceleration is maximum because the energy, the velocity goes on decreasing till this point. Okay, and yeah, so the statement number B is true, that acceleration is maximum at this point. Okay, maybe I'll discuss this later in more detail. Okay, the next question we have is from TIFR 14. N2 does not show pure vibrational spectra. Now N2 molecule does not have any dipole moment. So for this, the option is B. The dipole moment of N2 is 0. The next question we have is from TIFR 2015. For a harmonic oscillator named as ground state, that means V is equals to 0. The energy is given by correct? Where mu is the vibrational frequency. Now, this energy is what? This energy is both kinetic energy plus potential energy. Now, it cannot be that it is only potential energy, because if it is vibrating, it has some velocity and it will have some kinetic energy. Kinetic energy will only be zero at zero temperature when there is no amount of energy present in the molecule. But if small amount of energy is also present, it is doing some kind of vibration and it will have some kinetic energy. Potential energy will obviously come because of this vibration. The distance is decreasing from the other atom, and thereby a potential is generated. So this will be option number C. The next question we have is from, okay, I think that's all the questions from TIFR. We have two questions from IIT JAM. This came in JAM 15. Okay, for the JAM, I will be discussing questions from 2015 to 2020. And for the 15th question, it says the correct order of fundamental vibrational frequency of the following diatomic molecules is. Okay, so the molecules are HCl, H37Cl, and DCl. And you have to find the order of the vibration frequency. Okay. Now, we know obviously HCl, the vibrational frequency for HCl is greater than DCl. That's we know, because for DCl it is HCl by under root 2, that we have seen a number of times. Let's say from here we can say. But for H37Cl, where will it be? Whether it will be greater than DCl or less than DCl. Now, 2 into 35 by 2 plus 35, and you have 1 into 37 by 1 plus 37. So this is 70 by 37, and this is 37 by 38. Obviously, this is much larger. So DCl will have lower vibration frequency as compared to H37Cl. So the correct order for this will be option number A, which says HCl greater than H37Cl greater than DCl. And I think that's all the questions we have for simple harmonic oscillator model of in vibrational frequency from NET, GATE, TIFR, and IIT JAM. With this, we complete the introductory part of vibrational spectroscopy. In the next lecture, we'll start with the discussion of anharmonic oscillator, and we'll see the questions that have come from anharmonic oscillator for vibration frequency, so vibrational spectroscopy.